Alrighty, so moving right along here. Don't forget to save once you've made that last change. So click save, save often. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you now is to save our toolpath on MemberStick. So we're almost at the end. So the first thing to do, just to close the menu, what it'll do is it'll bring you back to where you selected your toolpath, your profile toolpath. A couple of things I can show you here. Our save toolpath is the one we're going to be primarily looking at, but if you ever wanted to edit your toolpath because there was a mistake in it, you click to select it. You select the toolpath under the toolpath list, and then you click the edit menu, and it would go back to here, and you can see make any changes that you needed to make. At the very bottom there, you can calculate it again to see the changes that you've made, or you can just close it. Okay, that's one thing. Again, that's the edit toolpath. You can find that. You can also see how long your toolpath takes. If we click on that, you can see that this toolpath is going to take 9 minutes and 53 seconds. That's how long it would take to machine this image. You can close that as well. It goes back to the same menu. Last thing to show you here is, you can actually also preview your toolpath there, just so you know, you can watch it again. Is you can go to Save Toolpath. And now, in your Save Toolpath, there's only a few settings we're going to change. One in particular is the language, the computing language that is the default. Default, it's AXYZ 4010 ARCS inch .nc file. Basically, that's a computer language our vCarve machine doesn't understand. Our CNC machine doesn't understand, rather. You have to change that. So click the down arrow, and you're going to be selecting the CWI. So look in the C's. There's CAs, CNs, CRs, and right after the CR, notice the capitals there, is the CWI Professor Basic. It'll be right before the CAMs, and the A is the lowercase there. So capital CWI Professor Basic. Click to select it, and simple as that. Again, making sure that it's selected down here in your toolpath list. Click Save Toolpath. Now, where to save it? We're going to be working with this file. This is an MMG file that we're working with. We're going to be working off of our desktop in this case. So click your desktop, and then double check that you've got it saved as your name, your last name there. Click Save. Alright, now last time I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to close it. We can always come back to it later if we want. I'm looking on my desktop for that MMG file that I just created. And there it is. Now I want to, just so that you can see this, I'm going to go into find my my vCarve Pro program, my vCarve file. So next time when you're coming in, you'll know where to go to find it. If you click on My Computer, your Start menu, and then you click on Documents. Now you should be able to go down into the file and find your Moreau.crv. Notice I have an MMG file in there as well. I'm just going to delete that. That's just an extra something else. That's another basically toolpath that I saved, and I just put it in my Documents folder. The CRV file, this Moreau.crv, vCarve is what CRV means. It's a carve file. Notice the difference between that and an MMG file. MMG files are used to, they're a computer language that the router in the back of the room understands. It's basically all it is just a bunch of ones and zeros on a page that our router understands as being something it needs to cut. The vCarve file, if I was to double click that the router doesn't understand. That only our computer understands, and that's the file that we use to create the MMG file. So consider that. This vCarve file, I'll close it up, is like the mama vCarve file, and the MMG file is like the baby. So we create our babies in the CRVs. Okay, so our MMG file is the file that we're going to be loading up with our router. Now, how to do that? Take your MemberStick and plug it in. Just going to find a good place. I think I've got one on the side of the computer here. And when you do that, you might get a window telling you that you just plugged something in. You might not. I'm just going to show you if you didn't. If you did, you just open up your files to view them. But if you didn't get something, you click on My Computer again, and you look under the devices with removable storage, and here it is right here, removable disk D. Click to open it, and you can see that there's a few files already in there. Notice that they are MMG files. Okay, so you can click and drag your MMG file in there, and then you can unplug it, and basically you can now plug it into the VCarve machine in the back of the room, go through the loading of the file, and then put your material in place, and then you can actually cut your file. It's as easy as that. Keep in mind, let me just go back here for a second. My computer, over my documents, go down to find my CRV file. The CRV file doesn't go in there. If I was to put that in there and try to load that onto the router back there, it won't even show up. So yeah, don't even bother to try. It just won't work. So make sure you're not actually putting your CRV file there. Okay, I'm gonna delete that out of there so we don't have it. There we go. So just your MMG file, and that's pretty much it. Great. So you guys have seen pretty much all of the tutorials now. Check out the next tutorial on scanning your image into with Scanner, and yeah, you basically start working on your own image from here on in. Alright, thanks guys, and if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks.